The quiet old man who changed everything. I work nights at Benny's Diner, the only one in our town that stays open past 10. Been there almost 7 years now. We get all kinds. Night owls, truckers, high school drama kids after rehearsals. But one of our regulars was this older guy named Arthur. Quiet type. Came in every Monday and Friday at exactly 6 p.m. Sat in booth 3 by the jukebox. Ordered chamomile tea and a slice of cherry pie. Never anything else. Arthur had this slow, stiff walk. One leg dragged a little, probably from an injury. Wore the same green wool coat year-round, even in summer. He always tipped in exact change. Sometimes all in dime. Never talked much beyond thank you and have a good night. If you weren't paying attention, you'd forget he was even there. Then one week he just stopped showing up. Didn't think much of it at first. Maybe he was sick or out of town. But when the second week passed, Mrs. Gerber from the pharmacy came in and said she'd heard Arthur passed away in his sleep. No family, no funeral plans, just gone. Felt strange, like the jukebox was quieter without him sitting beside it. About a month later, a man in a suit walked into the diner. Said he was Arthur's lawyer. We all kind of froze. No one expected Arthur to even have a lawyer. He carried a big brown envelope and handed it to Benny, the owner. Inside was a letter and instruction. Arthur had left money to nearly 30 people in town. But here's where it gets wild. A few days later, an ad ran in the weekly paper. All it said was, "If I ever made you smile, meet me one last time. Town Hall, Saturday, 3 p.m. I went out of pure curiosity. Figured maybe 20, 30 people would show up. Instead, the entire auditorium was packed. Standing room only. People I hadn't seen in years were there. Folks from 3 counties over. Strangers. Even the mayor. Everyone was buzzing with the same question. Why are we here? Then a screen lit up. A video began. It was Arthur, sitting in his small, cluttered living room with a cup of tea. "Hi there," he said. And then he smiled. Really smiled. Not the nod we saw at the diner, but a warm, relaxed grin. "You probably didn't know my name," he said, "but I knew yours. I've been watching this town for a long time. People pass each other like ghosts, but I paid attention. I wrote it all down. Every kindness, every small good thing, every moment someone chose to be better than they had to be." He held up a weathered notebook. It was thick, tattered. "I used to feel invisible, but watching all of you made me feel like I mattered. You kept me going, so I wanted to return the favor." And then, name after name, he called people out. He thanked the woman from the grocery store who used to walk his groceries to his car without asking. The middle school janitor who left the side gate open so Arthur could cut through to the park. A waitress who always remembered he liked his pie warm. He even mentioned Benny's cook, Leo, who once walked Arthur home after a power outage because he couldn't see well at night. For every person he named, someone from the back came down the aisle with envelopes. No lawyers, no paperwork, just preloaded debit cards and personal notes. One woman got $20,000. She'd once helped Arthur fix his roof during a thunderstorm when he was in his 60s. A kid named Tyler, who brought Arthur his groceries during lockdown, got $5,000 toward trade school. A teacher got $7,000. Arthur had seen her buying art supplies for her students with her own money. Then it was my turn. I almost didn't go up. Felt weird. But when I opened the envelope, I found $2,000 and a handwritten note. "Thanks for always warming the pie and never rushing me to leave. Booth 3 was my favorite part of the day. I don't even remember crying, but I know I wasn't the only one." The mayor was sniffling in the third row. At the end of the video, Arthur said this: "I didn't have kids. I didn't leave behind any family, but I didn't need to. I was surrounded by good people. This town, you were my family. You just didn't know it, but I did." People stayed at town hall for hours after the video ended, talking, hugging, sharing stories. Turns out Arthur had been quietly helping people for decades, fixing bikes for neighborhood kids, slipping gas money into mailboxes, paying off overdue library fees so kids could check out books again. No one knew. He'd never wanted credit. He just watched and gave quietly. I don't think anything like that will ever happen again. I don't even think I want it to, because nothing could ever top that day.